Welcome to a new day. It's a little damp outside here in Iowa. For those who are outside of the area watching this video, my name is Daniel McCrane with McCrane Associates, and small business owners choose to work with us to increase their profitability, expand their scalability, and solidify their legacy, guaranteed. So, we're talking about things that you can do to increase the value in your business. Now, intellectual property is something that would be very valuable inside your business, especially if your business is built around that. Great thing about intellectual property is that it's proprietary. No one else uses it. No one else has it. It's definitely something that sets you apart, that differentiates you from all of your competitors. Really easy that way to exploit that intellectual property to increase the value of your business, to bring in more market share, on and on and on. So, what are we talking about when we're talking about intellectual property? So, one of the things that might come to your mind right away is what if you have patents on things? That would be intellectual property, and that's protected by the government. What if you have copyrights on certain things? That would be intellectual property that would be protected by the government. You could even say trademarks, registered items, anything like that. Anything that has some kind of protection like that could be considered intellectual property. Now, we've worked with a company that had a patent, something that set it apart from other competitors in that same industry. And here's what happens when you have that intellectual property like that. That's worth something in and of itself. And there are a couple of things that you can do with that intellectual property if you're the owner of that property. So one of the things you could do is you could sell it with the business. And if you do that, there's a potential that could add to the value of the business. So it maybe at least by one multiple, maybe more, depends on how well you have used that intellectual property to differentiate yourself in the market. So it might be worth one and a half, two and a half times whatever the baseline is that we're looking at for value. And for small businesses, a lot of time that's the seller's discretionary earnings, the SDE. You might see it. For larger businesses, you might be familiar with the term EBITDA. However, that's pronounced. I don't know. I hear all kinds of people say it different ways. So you could get a multiple on that based on that intellectual property and how well you've utilized it in the business, how well you've called it out in the marketplace to say this is special about us, could end up boosting that multiplier. Now, intellectual property really isn't limited just to these kinds of things, patents, copyrights, trademarks, anything like that. Intellectual property could also be considered how you do your business. What is your sales process like? What is your client success process like? Especially if you have gone to the effort of mapping something out that is so dramatically different that sets you apart from your competitors. Things like customer satisfaction procedures can't be copyrighted or patented or anything like that, but that's still your intellectual property. And so if you can show that this is all documented out, this is what we do to set ourselves apart. This is why our clients love us so much. It's why they keep coming back. And you can show that to a prospective buyer. There's a chance that something like that, even though it's not protected, you may not get the same multiplier as some intellectual property that might be protected. You can still get some benefit out of that because you have documented a systematic process. And that has value. I'm sorry. I just realized I forgot something about the copyrights and patents and things like that. So one of the things you can do is you can sell that with the business, and I was talking about the multiplier effect. Another thing you could do with that intellectual property is you could lower the price of the business a little bit, not sell that patent or copyright with the business, but you could allow the new buyer to license that from you. So that way you could get a little bit of a trade-off. It's a lower price on the business, so it might sell faster, and that way you've got the ongoing income so that they can license that intellectual property from you. Because without that, if you've set your business up correctly, they can't just drop that license because the business will no longer be what it is. The business depends on that intellectual property. So another thing that can be done with intellectual property, just wanted to share that too. All right, I got to stop here. This video is getting a little long. So with that, everyone, have a great day